Shall I continue?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, all. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I'm really excited to give this presentation at this Power BI Club for the Microsoft Fabric Expert Series 2025. So, the topic is basically examining the healthcare with data integration and microservices at scale. So myself is Geeta Sharanya Bolla, and I have total of 8 years of experience and mostly on Microsoft technologies. So I have been working on healthcare from past 5+ years at different organizations. So basically, I will do the modernization of healthcare applications in various companies. The current client I'm working as at US Renal Care, part of Epexon. So there, I work on modernization of healthcare applications, and I also have two master degrees. One is Microsoft Information Systems Security, and the other one is the Microsoft Information Systems Management. And I am also expertise on different cloud technologies like Microsoft Azure, Advanced Security. I have some experience on GitHub Actions and so on. So coming to the topic, so mainly uh, what is the focus today is on healthcare. So, the healthcare digital transformation journey, and basically, the healthcare has a fragmented data. So, what is fragmented data of patients? So, basically, the data, a patient data is not in a single system. When we go to a hospital, every hospital has its own steps to perform to admit a patient. So once if we go to a clinic or anything, they give us various tests, and as we go there and we get those tests done, and they prescribe us something, but it may not be cured at that particular hospital or at that clinic, and we choose to go to a different clinic. So at that time, since the data is not at a single system, we again try to repeat those tests, and which causes duplication of the tests, patient's time has been wasted, and also higher costs. It's not just about the wastage of time of patient. It also depends how critical is the health condition, and it deteriorates their time. So that's where we are doing this Microsoft Fabric and API driven integration from the places. So there are different case studies from rural or from cities or from corporate hospitals and various places. So right now, coming to the stats, right? So we have more than 80% of patient data residing in the outside of the single system. So patients and providers, right, are struggling with this duplication, and they're delaying the treatment. So when there is a delay in treatment, it causes various factors for patients to, I mean, it can, in serious conditions, it can lead to death. So which we are planning to avoid those. Now, why fragmentation hurts care? So, because of this medication errors, right? Like some, even though we have a single system, some of the places still, the nurses or the lab assistants are still lacking to use this digital iPads or computers to upload the data. They are still using pen and paper. So, which also cause medication errors, right? If they don't upload it properly, which may cause the another clinic or when they go to the checkup after 3 months or 5 months, it's still a problem if they don't have the proper data in the system. So, and also rural areas, people travel hours and hours to visit an hospital. And if they don't have the proper data, they again have to travel long journeys and which causes issues. And also we are mainly here to give the trust, speed, and patient safety. Since patient data is also PHI, we have to be very careful when we are sharing across the medical organizations. And we also have to take the consent of the patient that we are going to share to a particular hospital, or the hospital should take the consent from the patient that I'm going to review your previous data. So what is this now a role of this modern architecture, right? So we are going to do some cloud integration and microservices enable applications. Why are we going with this technical approach, right? So first of all, cloud integration. It basically aggregates the diverse data streams and provide the scalable accesses. So that is mainly on cloud integration. And when we do a domain driven design, right, each service, like example patient, appointment, like different lab results, telehealth are all deployed independently so that it has the highest cohesion as well as the loose coupling. That is called the microservices, right? And we also perform the API gateway, which is for handling the routing, throttling, and response aggregation, all these things. Then comes the service mesh. It also manages the services like communication wise and observability and all that. Now, if we go to the data integration layer, which is nothing but the combination of Microsoft Fabric plus the FHIR APIs, right? So the FHIR is nothing but fast healthcare interoperability resources, right? So what happens is, what do we do in the Microsoft Fabric is we create a lake house. We do the FHIR connectors and APIs, and we do the real-time pipelines, right? So what happens is when we adopt this FHIR to ensure that semantic interoperability across all services and all kind of data formats. When we do a real-time pipeline, we will create an Azure Data Factory or a Synapse pipeline, stream the data into fabrics. Next comes the APIs, and how do we do the like it can be how do we create the API and how do we secure it and what kind of identity access management we use, and all this come into picture. It can be a mobile app or it can be for clinics. We go and create the desktop application on their iPads or monitors so that they can use it for their daily lab results or patient data storage. So now from 2017, if you see, there is a huge, tremendous growth in adopting these things from 14.8% to 58.3% from 2000 till 2022. So, which is a very positive sign for everybody that it is growing a lot. Now, real world benefits, right? So, now the hospitals, right, have prevented readmissions, right, by using 30%, reduced by 30%. And duplicate lab testing has been reduced, right? And also, these corporate hospitals are trying to use the data integrated system, which is accessible to the next doctors within that uh, care physicians group. So now what is the power of microservices, right? So basically the transaction throughput is very high, the faster response times, faster deployments, reduction of infrastructure costs. And if you see the stats, right, you see 62% has been increased in transaction throughput, 47% faster response times, 74% faster deployments. So these rates are seen based on our application development from past few years and adapting to the new technologies what Microsoft has been releasing year by year. And now let's take this chronic disease management, right? So mobile health apps are powered by integrated platforms, and also patients with chronic illnesses experience better outcome. So basically, if we do this management in a proper way, everybody will be satisfied. And Fabric plus microservices gives the personalized information, and it also allows the timely intervals. Next, COVID-19 lessons. So COVID-19 has taught us many things in our life, right? In healthcare also, it has improved a lot. So they have integrated platforms to give the telehealth and testing systems. And they also integrated the data that you have taken this vaccine and it is allocated in your machine, and anybody can see that, okay, how many vaccines have you taken, and have you ever taken a COVID-19 vaccine, right? And also, we build a foundation for any healthcare system has to implement this and do it as a future proof. So unified data platform, right? So basically it enables 360 degrees patient view, okay? And also the telehealth platform has been expanded with the help of microservices by 58%. And also a patient in a village or in a rural area can consult to a cardiologist or any emergency care through a tele health. And also it equips the clinics to be decision ready, like to give the doctor all the notes what patient is trying to tell, and based on the reports and based on the vitals, that the doctor can be prepared, the physicians. So now coming to the architectural blueprint. So Microsoft Fabric is the core data backbone, right? And also we are trying to make more modularized in the healthcare applications and more fast response with data independent, and deploying it into small objects so that we don't have any downtime issues. And we are also planning as individual deployable objects so that when we need to do a change, it's easy to do the change management in software. And also, we are, as today, AI is getting very much into our world and into our lives. So we have to, we are doing the integration using the help of AI and reporting tools for population health. When we are using AI, we are not going to expose the data. We are only going to do the repeatable tasks which can be done using AI for a faster approach. Now, coming to security and compliance. Security plays a major role in healthcare systems, right? Because you have patients' end to end data like social security number, your date of birth, your address, everything. So we have to have some compliances, which is HIPAA standards, GDPR standards, and regional compliance. And also, when we do the development in the lower environments, we mask the data and we work based on that. Or we add something to the real time data and so that it doesn't match with the PHI. And also, Fabric ensures data governance, lineage, and auditing. So when I have worked in one of the client, which is Nipper, right? They have this auditing system, which basically they have. Now, for example, I am a consumer of drugs. I like medicines. So if I don't maintain those standards, am I putting it in the right temperature? Am I giving it to the right person? So basically, we provide samples to the physicians, and a physician will have a limit of like this many medicines or prescriptions can be given as sample, and we have to see how are we giving, and are we matching a physician and a product count is getting matched or not. Those kind of auditing will be done by the different agencies when we are dealing with healthcare. And also, nowadays we are what we are doing is microservices are adopting zero trust principles, encryption, and role based access, right? Nowadays, role based access is a very good improvement in our technology. Admin has some privileges, physician has some privileges, as a practitioner you have some privileges, as a nurse you have some, as an employee we have various permissions to access the information. Now, coming to the developer and architect strategies, right? So these application, first of all, we have to adopt API first design for healthcare apps. And we have to use this Fabric's data activator and Synapse integration for real-time insights, and leverage microservices for modular and scalable deployment. Leadership. Now we leadership and business strategies. So we have to, one thing, we have to tell the organizations to adopt this, promote this, and show them the stats, how it is improved and how it is going to improve their organization, right? Based on patient satisfaction, based on organization costs, readmissions, and all those things. And we should also ensure investments in Fabric and microservices to give better goals as we go on. Nowadays, people from mainframes to the latest technologies, if you ask, I am joining as a nurse today in a hospital or in an organization or anywhere. I might have learned in a newer way of technologies, and I know I'm easily going to adapt those skills rather learning my mainframes or some other old technologies which were there and getting to adapt this. It will be like keep a book and a paper, and also build multi-stakeholder governance models for adoption. So we have this roadmap, right? We can do MVP and we can do pilot integrations, right? Not entire organization has to adapt this. We will do it in bits and pieces so that they'll see one application or one integration, like example, chronic care. Like now we are doing a value based care application, which is nothing but US renal care is mainly for dialysis. So, what is this value based care scheduler and scheduler? So, value based care is nothing but a patient has really need to take dialysis on the day one, or is he eligible by medication, or by just taking one or two times of dialysis he'll be cured, right? That kind of thing is value based. If he's not really needed dialysis, he will not even go to the scheduler pro. That kind of segregation really helps patients as well as the organization to be well maintained, right? And in midterm, we expand to telehealth, imaging, and analytics. And long term, we have to do it in a full scale. Uh, Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Let's dive into some questions.
Hello, yeah. So I will be sharing the questions in the chat itself.
Sure.
I'm not sure why I'm not able to share in the chat itself. So if possible, you can check the WhatsApp out and cover those questions.
Sorry, what was that?
I've shared on WhatsApp as this chat feature is not working for me.
Okay. So, what are the key benefits of using Microsoft Fabric and microservices in healthcare data integration? Right. Uh, so, Microsoft Fabric is nothing but the data integration, right? So, basically, it's mainly about flexibility, right? And independently depending on demand, right? Each microservice can be scaled like that. And also, it reduces dependency on a single technology and promotes innovation, faster deployment and development, and also fault isolation and resilience. The next question is, how does data fragmentation impact patient care and what solutions were discussed to address it? So, data fragmentation impacts patient care a lot, right? So, I am diagnosed with some leg infection issue, and I'm going to the doctor, and when I'm getting admitted, it is getting reduced with the help of antibiotics. And as soon as I'm discharged to home, I'm getting it back. And now I have lost trust on that particular hospital, and I'm going to the next hospital. All my previous data is not taken over directly from an hospital to another hospital, but I'm telling it orally. Sometimes doctors may not understand because they have their own medical terms. Based on that scenario, they try to accommodate it. And the next question is, what real world improvements were observed in healthcare outcomes due to integration and API adoption? So, real world improvements, the best example is COVID-19, right? So, COVID-19, when they have introduced the vaccine, they had created a centralized mm, app or a place where a patient's vaccines can be entered into the system. And when we go and tell someone that we have already taken COVID-19 vaccine, what vaccine have you taken, right? There are different kinds of vaccines in COVID-19. Sometimes we don't remember it, medulla or all that. So the organization has access, okay, what kind of vaccine have you taken, right? So what role do standards like FHIR and HL7 play in achieving interoperability in healthcare systems? So FHIR and HL7, right? What is it? Yeah. Uh, so basically, HL7 is Health Level 7 International, right? It is basically standards for an organization to exchange the health information, right? And also you have the CDA called Clinical Document Architecture, which is document based standard for clinical summaries. And what is FHIR? Fast Healthcare Interoperability Resources, which is nothing but it's a newest standard from HL7. So the best part is it combines HL7 version 2 and HL7 version 3. Version 2 is nothing but it is widely used for clinical data exchange, which is lab results and ADT messages. Version 3 is more structured and it is XML based. And also it creates the modular resources like patient, observation, encounter, medication, prescriptions, all those kind of things. Why do we say they play together is we are bridging between old and new, right? So nowadays many organizations still run on HL7 V2, which is nothing but it's mainly for the radiology, lab and ADT feeds. So what FHIR does is it translates this HL7 V2 messages into modern REST APIs. That's how they both are uh, play together. What strategies were recommended for developers and architects looking to implement scalable healthcare solutions? Right? Based on the problem statement, we usually get the strategies from various developers and architects, right? Based on the problem statement. Uh, that's all I have. Nella, do you have anything for me?
Okay, thank you so much for joining us. It was really an insightful session, and I too learned a lot from it. Like these terms were new for me.
Mhm.
And apart from this session and this domain, I would like to ask you to share one or two piece of advice for the audience related to life, not like just this domain specific, just a common thing you would like to share with all of us.
Okay. Um, Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and I really love to give this presentation, which I'm hoping it helps many communities and many solutions who are going to create and come up with this solution so that it helps the patients and our lives. And I also congratulate everyone who are part of this Microsoft series, Fabricare series. Whoever got this opportunity, I really appreciate everyone. And I, I'm not sure what is the stats who have applied, but we are really lucky, and giving this opportunity is really good and success.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was a nice session, and the stats was high for the submission. And we are
Mhm.
glad to like you joined us. So apart from this, if you have anything to share, you have the stage on, and we can end it if you do so.
Um, Thank you. That's all from my side.
Okay, so we can proceed with the ending.
Sorry, what was that?